everyone is aware, we have just completed the first weekend of the long-awaited release of the 2023 animated Super Mario movie, and I am very excited to have joining us for this segment. He is, of course, the host of Filmmaster Adam Reviews. We both endured the horror of Descendants 2 together, even with my god-awful video work, if you can still hunt down that old video. Please welcome to the show, Adam J. Seabach. Welcome!
Thank you, man. I appreciate the awesome intro there.
Yes, absolutely. So, like I said, this was, just for my take, as anyone who's probably heard me just going off all on social media for these upcoming weeks, and especially this weekend, this was something so many of us had been waiting for probably 30 years. Like, if you grew up definitely like I did, like I'm sure you did, and endured the disaster that was the 1993 live-action movie made amazingly by the people who created Max Headroom, of all people. You could just hope that at some point in time, another chance would be given to put these characters onto the big screen and get it done right. And all I can say, Adam, at least from my perspective, is it was so worth the wait. I could gush about this movie on.
I'm gonna say this. When it came to the 1993 movie, you know what? That movie's one of my biggest guilty pleasures, and I ain't gonna apologize for it.
Anybody here? Look, remember, I'm a guy who still.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. It's fun.
I'm a guy who loves Xanadu, so I really can't judge anybody.
There you go.
There we go. But as far as this one goes, I kind of have to steal the line from Barney Stinson in the Sandcastles in the Sand episode of How I Met Your Mother. It's everything I could have hoped for and more for me as far as this movie went. It just turned out to be, it's getting mixed results for the most part. Not very well received among the professional critics, sad they say, but very highly rated among fans, which is pretty much what I came to expect, because it's just such a mixture, almost like the perfect mixture of not just the paying tribute to the more recent games themselves, but it delves into the entire history. And before I do want to mention, of course, that this is a spoiler warning on this video, just so you guys all know. So if you're watching this when I replay it live on Rowdy Live on Sunday, know that ahead of time. I'll probably mention that as well. And of course, when I eventually post this on YouTube, it shall be make sure to let you guys know as well. But just the fact for me, this movie didn't just adapt from any of the most recent games. It delves into almost the entire lore of Super Mario Brothers, dating back, to those insane, outlandish cartoons that I think so many of us grew up on. And it was a hit to the nostalgia gut in the best way possible for me.
Well, when it came to this movie, I'm gonna say this: I had a fucking blast in this movie. I did. I had a really good time. I had a lot of fun. All the nostalgic beats just hit me. Like I loved seeing, the Mushroom Kingdom realized. I liked seeing friggin' Mario actually go through the blocks and everything, go through the lifts. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. And all the tunnels and everything, and Mario Kart. Actually, the fact that they included a Mario Kart sequence and the Rainbow Bridge, I'm like, this is really fun. Okay, when you take a step back, and this is where I can understand the critics in some way, okay, because I kind of had the same issue too. Is I'm looking at this movie and I'm like, okay, this movie has no story. Every time it tries to have character development, it cuts away to some bombastic action scene, or just cuts away too quickly. All right. But at the same time, what it cuts away to is usually a lot of fun. So I'm like, maybe I could kind of just let that go.
Yeah, in fact,
I made a joke on Facebook the other day. A guy accused me of not liking the movie, and I was like, "Well, what are you talking about? Super fan Super Fan Service Brothers the movie is the best Nintendo commercial I've ever seen.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I saw that comment, and of course, and if you remember, I had to respond to that with, you know what? It's still better than Max Headroom the movie. Oh wait, this was supposed to be Super Mario Brothers. F it, the stupid kiddies won't know the difference anyway. So yeah, but look, I can't understand that part. I've actually checked out an article that was published on The Escapist by one John Frisia. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. I think that probably sums up the best. It's probably the best critique I could probably think of the movie. When the title of the article is "The Super Mario Brothers movie feels like a foundation for a much better sequel." And let's be honest, like this thing is as we're recording this video, like I said, the weekend hasn't even completed yet, and the movie has already made back twice its budget. So we still got the Easter Day itself, which is probably going to absolutely clean up on that as well. So a lot of people have already said this is already assured that a second movie in some way, shape, or form is going to come. And I think that especially what this guy, Mr. Frisia, said is that I think there's a lot of potential to make that movie, the second movie, something even better that could answer the questions on that. And even I will admit, looking back there was some things I thought could the movie could have touched on a bit better. One thing I would point out, and again the spoiler warnings right here, is they do in this movie tease the possibility of what Princess Peach's origin actually is. But they don't go into any really detail about that for the rest of the movie.
No.
And that's something where I'm thinking, okay, maybe a second movie could elaborate further on that, because it definitely is something. Because here's what I've got here. Like, what we were shown was, apparently, Peach as a young girl somehow ended up in the mushroom world from someplace else. Mario suggests, did she come from his world? We know by that point that there's a place in the underground sewers below Brooklyn where these transport warp zone pipes came out that was sealed off, that they only got broke through because of the water disaster that they were trying to save and all that. So that's all like situate possibilities of more further into this lore that perhaps the movie could elaborate further on.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing, I'm actually going to bring up something that not a lot of people are bringing up.
Okay.
And about the opening of this movie it is almost note for note the opening of the '93 film.
I will grant you that.
That's like, a lot of people are touching about when you actually think about the opening of that film. What happens? Mario and Luigi, they're strapped for work. They got a big way that doesn't respect them, tries to screw them over. They end up trying to take care of a flood underneath the city, and they end up going into the this weird dino place, Dino Hatton or whatever the fuck it's called.
That's a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, that's something I know. I think a couple other people did notice as well. It is kind of like the writers of this movie. They took the basic premise of what that 1993 movie was, added in details of stuff that was in the Super Mario Super Show and those cartoons, and just managed to mesh it together in something that just works absolutely perfectly, and to be able and still be able to throw in other facets like the Donkey Kong world as well, and it just said and. Let's face it, I don't know if anybody could have played a better Donkey Kong than Seth Rogen as of right now, because that was just, like I said, a lot of people were complaining about this, but just the fact that, like I said, they make Bowser, for less of a better term, a simp in this movie, and then they make Donkey Kong more or less a dude bro. And it's like, that's just about perfect. Because
with Bowser, I can understand. My issue with Seth Rogen's voice as Donkey Kong is that it doesn't feel like he's playing a character, whereas Jack Black it did. Jack Black actually felt like he was becoming Bowser, and I forgot it was even him after a while. That he was that good. With Seth Rogen, I'm just hearing Seth Rogen.
Well,
it's every voice he's ever done. He just does his normal voice, and I mean, he said in an interview that anytime he's asked to do animation, he doesn't do a voice. He just does his own voice. And so I don't really blame him for that. I blame that more on the casting people. All right, but because, you could have had like professional voice actors, but no, we need names to put on the poster. So we got Seth Rogen. All right,
Yeah, and I know a lot of other. I know for some people actually thought that their biggest issue wasn't actually with Seth Rogen, but some people thought that maybe Fred Armisen may not have been the best person to voice Cranky Kong as well.
Not.
But let's put it this way:
honestly, his voice got on my nerves.
Yeah,
his voice got on my nerves.
But you know what? Both of those guys, compared to both of those guys, and maybe Armisen especially. Suddenly, Chris Pratt doesn't seem that bad as Mario.
No, and here's the thing: Chris Pratt actually wasn't bad. He was fine. He did his best, and he did a fine job. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I loved the opening of this movie because I felt him and Charlie Day had very good chemistry together, and it did bum me out a bit that they kind of separated them after that for a while because I'm like, these two have really good chemistry. I would like to see this elaborated on a lot further, but Luigi and him were separated through most of the film, and I'm like, why'd you do that?
Well, because obviously they wanted to switch it about up. There was somebody who, either is the one make difference is, obviously somebody in this cast was going to have to more or less be rescued. And it's very clear they wanted to do a slight change up on it and not have Peach be the one in this particular movie. Which is something I personally don't matter because I'm going to say this absolutely right now. I'm going to get this over with right now. Princess Peach Toadstool to me absolutely stole the show for me in this movie.
Oh, she was great. Anya Taylor-Joy did a fantastic job, and I really hope she does more voice work in the future because she did great in this.
And more than just the voice work itself, like this was, like, and I said, it's been mentioned before that Shigeru Miyamoto himself was saying, even from the original creation of the game, he always wanted the princess to be something more than just the helpless damsel. And it's something we saw in the cartoons themselves, which is actually why, if you're not aware, the next TV trash is going to be going back to the old 80s Mario cartoons and give the top 6 or 10 or so examples of when Princess Toadstool was a badass. Because she did have her moments in those cartoons as well, which I'm going to show.
And I'm not going to lie, okay? I actually got a big smile on my face when I heard the Super Show song in the movie.
The only
we're the Mario Brothers.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The only really disappointment for me in this movie was they didn't play "Do the Mario" for the end credits. If they had done that, that would have almost been like the absolute biggest cherry on top of this whole cake. But
they included the DK rap.
But going back again, what just got to my heartstrings and just made me love, especially this version of Princess Peach even more, is that they made it the absolute perfect blend of what I thought this character needs to be. Yes, you could see from the very beginning, almost the minute you meet her, that she's strong, she's competent, and most especially confident in her abilities. I just love watching that whole obstacle course thing because you can just see the look in her eyes that she just loves just having fun going through that whole course thing. But at the same time, she's also the caring, kind, compassionate person that I think everyone would expect someone like her to be. She doesn't do what she does to try to prove herself better than anyone else. She encourages other people like that. That was what I think was probably one of the best parts of the movie was, even after all the multiple times Mario tries to go through that obstacle course and never is able to complete it, she is still trying to bring him up. She wants Mario to believe in himself as much as she believes in herself. That when the Toad comes along and she knows that he probably he's not the biggest or strongest guy possible, but just the fact that he's the only one of her people who had the courage to come with her on this journey. That's all she needed to hear. She's exactly the type of character who looks to see the best and bring out the best in other people. And I've actually always said this for quite a few times to myself, that whether it's these type of characters or the Disney version of herself, I've always what is the purpose of a princess? And I've always thought is to inspire and encourage and
Yes.
show people the good in life. And this version of Princess Peach Toadstool, which I'm always going to call her because I am damn certain Toadstool is her last name, which makes which why her version we called her in the 80s can still be in canon. But yeah, this portrayal of her was to me absolutely what she needed to be, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
But maybe you go into. I also just like the fact that I do like the fact they asked to keep Bowser's more comedic abilities that he had in the cartoons.
Yes.
And personally, I was thinking like can't help but picture. There were definitely people who were questioning like, see, his own motive is he wants to marry Peach, and I'm thinking, can you blame him?
No, nah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think also a thing I caused to love in retrospect, I didn't realize this until after the movie, was the fact that they did inundate just or if that's the correct word, I don't know, but put in at least just small snippets of classic pop songs in this movie. One, I know that's probably been done by Illumination before. But it works even better with this because they shoehorn pop songs into the Super Show cartoons as well. So that's just another tremendous example of them paying homage to those cartoons that so many people did grow up on.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, I think that this movie, and what really works about it, and why the nostalgia hits so many people and so many fans from different ages, is that it literally has something from like every generation of Mario, like from old school to Mario Kart to Smash Brothers to friggin' Odyssey. Okay, they literally included everything they could and tried to make a cohesive plot out of it.
I mean, they created a character that's more or less Jumpman from Donkey Kong in there.
Yeah.
And the fact that they throw in Foreman Spike from Wrecking Crew in there, that he's a character.
Yeah, I did not. That's a friggin' deep cut.
Just to laugh at the fact that of course the mayor of Brooklyn in this movie, that's Pauline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You do realize who was playing the guy playing on the arcade, right?
Yeah, that was oh yeah, we know who did was that voice. Yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
we know.
Yeah, that was Mario's voice for the games.
Oh, just the fact, and also the fact, I don't know if this is some people have debated this, some people have questioned whether this is the case, but was the lady in that Super Mario plumbing ad, was that the lady in there is supposedly voiced by the original voice actress of Princess Toadstool in the Super Mario Super Show. That's supposedly a rumor. I haven't been able to confirm that completely yet, but yeah, that's supposedly who she is in there. So they did as much as they possibly could to throw in as much as possible. I'm definitely going to be seeing this movie again at some point in time.
I will. No, I'm going to be seeing it because I'll be taking my my son to see it.
I said this.
He's 5. He'll love it.
Oh yeah, I've said this. My personal record for the most time seeing one movie in theaters was 6 times with The Wizard back when I was 10 to 11 years old. Yeah. I might try to break that record with this movie.
No.
Just the thing. We'll wait and see. Because like I said, back then, that was a lot easier because movies were in theaters for 6 months before they went to home video. So I have to wait and see on what was going then. But yeah, definitely glad that Adam J was able to join in for this thing, and just I think we were all just it's more than just excitement, but just breathing an incredible sigh of relief that finally they got it right.
We got a great
suit.
Yeah.
And I've said this.
Again, like I said, like this is a movie that's light on story and character development, but it's fun as hell if you're a Mario fan. Like if you've never like indulged in Mario, like some other critics I can mention, Grace Randolph, okay, fine, whatever, you don't like it, okay, but if you have ever been a fan of Mario, there is something in here for you, and you will enjoy it, and you should enjoy it. You should have some fun with this.
And there was
the action's fun, the characters are fun, despite the fact that there's not much depth to them. They do command the screen, and I fucking love Charlie Day's Luigi in this movie. Like Charlie
Oh,
Day and Jack Black, those were the two that stole it from me. I thought they were fucking hilarious in this.
oh yeah. And I said,
All right.
look, there was a reason I specifically thought of you to join in for this particular segment because, like I said, I remember in your list of, I guess it would have been the best movies of 2015, it would have been. On that list was the Peanuts movie on there. And
I adored the fucking Peanuts
and that's
movie.
it, because like I'm gonna tell you
do.
this. Waiting for this movie to come out, this was probably the most hyped I'd been for any individual film, MCU notwithstanding, but maybe even more than an MCU film, probably the most hyped I'd been for any film since that Peanuts movie. So and it was just because of that I thought, yeah, if there's anybody who might have been as hyped for this as I was by comparison of those two movies, it would have been Adam J. So that's why that was probably the first guy I thought of months ago when I thought going to have to make a video or a live stream about this movie in particular.
Well, man, I'm glad you had me on, man. Like again, I was fucking hyped as hell for this movie, and again, despite a few issues, it was not disappointing. I had a very good time with it, and I will definitely be seeing this again. And again, I got a 5-year-old, I got a newborn daughter. I'm probably going to be watching this a lot over the years.
And here's hoping this maybe be the start of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And honestly, we got. Hell, they already set up Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we're getting a Donkey Kong, at least Donkey Kong, and the sequel to this movie. Legend of Zelda, I still think would be better as a TV series, but
honestly, I hope Illumination doesn't do Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
I honestly, if anything, they're gonna make it too jokey. As Legend of Zelda is something that should be taken seriously, I want to see like a serious Legend of Zelda, like on HBO, like from the Last of Us creators. You know what I mean?
So in other words, you might not be in agreement with me. Is that if they make such a movie, I want to hear "Excuse me, Princess" at least once.
Okay.
Because I'm like that. but thank you so much for joining on this, Adam J. And again, hopefully we'll stick around, see each other somewhere down the road at some point in time, hopefully the future of these Mario movies and these adaptation movies in general. It seems like everything is going in a bad direction. Hey, you said even the Dungeons and Dragons movie was probably even better than this Mario thing.
Oh yeah, dude, no, the Dungeons and Dragons movie I thought was absolutely perfect. Honestly, I'm gonna just be straight with you here. I'm being real. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, that is the best movie I've seen all year. Okay, the characters, perfect. The story was perfect. The visuals, okay, cheesy but damn perfect. The fucking action, perfect. Like, dude, and I have not had an ending of a movie hit me emotionally that hard in so damn long. Okay, like, dude, like, there's something that happens at the end of this movie. It's like a gut punch, but like in the best way. Like, if it does not tug at your heartstrings, you have no soul.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, so yeah,
watching that.
So yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. So yeah, go see Super Mario Brothers by all fucking means. Okay, and see it in IMAX because it earned it. Okay, but Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, go see that. Do not fucking pass on that shit.
It just goes, with both of them examples and maybe some others as well, it just goes to show, like I said, what can actually happen when the people behind the movie actually care.
Care.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.